Man, is it that time? Is it story time?
Story time.
Story time. Story time. Story time. Yes, it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's story time. You read the title. You seen the thumbnail. I hit a parked car at school, man. So let me tell you what happened on this fateful day. So I was about 16, something like that. And I just got this car like a year prior when I was 15 from my granddad, which I call Papa, because my grandma, which I call Mama, these are my dad's parents. My mama passed away some years ago, and my Papa had a red Ford Explorer or something like that. My mama had a 1990 Cadillac DeVille, right? It looked like the hood was all messed up, like somebody poured acid or something on it, but hey, it was a car, right? It needed a tune-up, it needed new tires, all kind of stuff, right? Time goes on now, I'm 16, I'm old enough to drive it. You know, I got my license, I'm old enough to drive it without an adult, right? I don't have to wait for one of my parents and nothing like that. So I'm driving it to school when school start back, right? Now, I played football for a couple of years in high school, right? And we had, the football field house over here. So in the field house, you had your own kind of parking, like you had parking on the side, and we had this gravel parking lot, you know what I mean? Now, across from the field house parking was like the football / soccer practice field. Then you had this other little shed over here. And then you had these, those little angled parking spaces, right? That was right next to the gate. Pay attention to that. That's going to come up later. The coaches had to go somewhere with some conference or something like that, right? And we had this dude on our team named, should I say his name? Jarquez, that's his name, right? This dude was a known thief. This dude would steal from his own damn self. He'd be sneaking around. What you doing? I stole these shoes. Ain't those your shoes? Oh, yeah, you right. He would just steal anything, but if it wasn't nailed down, he would steal. I remember people were saying that they thought he stole a car one time because he pulled up in a whole different car that wasn't his, right? He would just steal stuff. So he stole one of the water girls' iPads, right? Now, we didn't know he stole it, but we had a feeling that he stole it, right? So one of the water girls, she complained, my iPad. I mean, I'd be pissed too. Don't get me wrong. But the coaches finally, get a word of that. And when they come back into town, because the whole time we didn't have practice, we was just in the gym, just messing around, whatever. So that whole week or few days, whatever they were gone, we wasn't practicing or nothing. So when they come back, the head coach goes, all right, I done found out somebody stole one of the water girls' iPad. Y'all better come forward or it's gonna be hell. And nobody came forward. Everybody's like, man, come on. Somebody tell them what it is. Tell them who got it. Now we all know who got it, but we don't know who got it. So they running the hell out of us every day. We ain't even practicing. Well, it's the off season, but still, we ain't even doing it. We just running, doing up downs. I'm talking about to the sun go down. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so wore out after one of these days. I'm so tired. I just drag myself to my car, right? Now remember, from what I told you, the end of the parking lot, it was this open gate. Across from that, those angled, slanted parking spaces, right? There's a little walkway that you have to go through that leads up to the baseball field and all kind of stuff, right? So as I pull up to the edge, right, there's some people walking or whatever. When they finally go and I can turn, I look this way, I'm getting ready to make the left turn, right? Now, the Cadillac, it was, like I said, it was a 1990 Cadillac DeVille. It was kind of a long car, and it didn't really turn, it didn't turn on a dime or nothing like that. When I'm getting ready to make this turn, as I'm making one last look around to see if anybody coming, you know how you do. And as I'm getting ready to turn, I'm noticing that my car is real close to this truck, right? But right when I hit the brakes, it was too late. Bam! I hit the tail end of the tail end of the truck right by the brake lights. Now I'm on the football team. Bunch of black folks on the team. You know what that means. As soon as they heard that bang, first of all, school was letting out. Everybody was already outside. So the people that was already outside, they looking. People in the field house heard it. Like, or somebody told them, they come running out, and then they start, you know how black folk do. They got to hoop and holler and do all this stuff. So I'm just catching hell, and I'm just sitting there like, man, damn. And so, come to find out, right? One of the dudes on the team, shout out to him, his name is Justin. He, as people outside looking and laughing, he notices something, right? He goes, hey, hold up. This dude ain't even in the parking spot. Now, all of the parking spaces were taken up. This one dude who actually was on the baseball team, he pulled up into a spot that was not actually a spot. He just parked at the end of the parking lot, at the end of the parking row or whatever. So it wasn't an actual parking space. So that's why I was wondering, like, why is, like, I made this turn so many times. There's no way that I could just, like, I wasn't that careless, you know what I mean? So then this girl, she pipes up and she's like, it don't matter. It's a parked car. If you hit a parked car, no matter what, it's your problem. Then dude Justin, man, he ain't even parking the spot. You can't park right there. They just arguing, right? Now, homegirl is right. If you hit a parked car, that's your fault. It really ain't, you know, I was the one driving. It can't be his fault because even though he wasn't supposed to park right there, he wasn't driving, you know what I'm saying? So it was my fault. So I'm sitting like, dog, what should I do? Another person on the football team, he come up, he goes, hey bro, you might want to go inside and find the cop and tell him what happened. Now, on our school, it's not that our school was real bad or nothing like that, real ghetto, but we had what we call an SRO. That stood for School Resource Officer, right? So he said, go inside, find what's his name, tell him what happened, then try to make a report, you know what I'm saying? So I told him, he came outside, he was like, yeah, blah, blah. So they said, well, whose truck is this? And he was like, oh, it's some dude. And let me tell you this real quick. There was this dude, one of the dudes on the football team, I couldn't stand this dude. One of the dudes on the football team was like, oh, that's him, and two other dudes like, oh, that's Brady's truck. That's Brady's truck. Oh, and I'm like, they act like this dude was like finna kill me because I hit his truck, right? And when they said his name, I was like, if they talking about the Brady, I'm talking about that he ain't a thug or a mean dude or nothing like that. What are they talking about? So when they finally go get him, he was at baseball practice. He walks all the way down. He's like, yeah, man, I was kind of in a rush. And I just parked right there. He was, you know, we were just talking. I don't know what that was about. It made it seem like he was gonna fight me or something because I hit his truck, right? So we exchanged information and all that kind of stuff. And I had to tell my parents. My dad was like, damn, you know, one of the many dams I've caused my parents, especially my father, to say, you know. So, okay, so check this out. So now, the only thing that was wrong with my car was the headlight was like dangling off, you know. So I had to like take that off. I had to ride like that for a minute, you know what I'm saying? He had like a hole in the back of his truck or whatever by the tail light. The next day or like a couple days later, this dude, now where I went to school at, I don't know about y'all, where I went to school at, the people who played baseball, they had money. Like a lot of them, there was like a big neighborhood right behind the school, right behind the baseball park, where a lot of them lived at. And they had these big, huge houses. A lot of them had money because playing baseball was really expensive. You know, you had, I guess summer ball and camps, and you had to actually pay to be on the team and stuff like that. If you played football or something like that, you was on the team. You really didn't have to pay nothing. I remember one year we did, but that was pretty much it. So the next day or a couple days later, he comes up in this big, huge white Nissan Titan, and he sees me. He's like, "What up?" I guess he's like, "Hey, my dad or whatever got me a truck. Thanks." Like, this was just an excuse to get another truck. I don't know. But yeah, that was really embarrassing. And I kind of got, it didn't last too long, but yeah, I remember a couple days later, people was on the team and in school was like, "Oh, you learn how to drive, well, you hit a parked car." A couple of these dudes come up to me and they was like, "What happened yesterday?" I guess they were gone. They had heard that I hit a park or they had already left or something. It was like, "What happened?" I was like, "I hit a car or whatever." And they started laughing. But it didn't last too long. But I actually got one more story about that Cadillac, and that pissed me off. It actually did get totaled, but it wasn't a huge accident. It was just another little weird. And the other person's car didn't even get a scratch on it. Mine, the hood was all bent up and everything, and it cost a lot to get fixed. So I just scrapped it. So yeah, I don't know how that ended up happening, but that's my little embarrassing story. Y'all like the video, subscribe to my channel. Hey, look here, you watching this video and you made it this far, subscribe, dog. Did you do it? Good. All right, I'll know if you subscribed or not. Let me know down in the comment section an embarrassing story. It could be a car accident, it could be something at school, it could be a time you sharded in class. I don't care what it is. Just engage with me, leave a comment. I told you to like the video. I know you subscribe, because if you don't, I'm gonna leave your car on bricks, you know. And that's my story, man. I appreciate y'all watching. I'm out. Peace.